Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Colon Cancer Alliance's monthly Telechat. My name is Martha Raymond, and I'm a patient support advocate for the Colon Cancer Alliance. This evening, our topic is Mind-Body Medicine, Techniques to Calm the Mind and Heal the Body. This chat is being recorded and will be available next week in the Colon Cancer Alliance's library. At the conclusion of tonight's presentation, you will have the opportunity to ask questions from our speaker. Our speaker tonight is Dr. Ann Webster. Dr. Webster is a scientist and health psychologist at the Benson Henry Institute for Mind-Body Medicine at Massachusetts General Hospital and an instructor in medicine at Harvard Medical School. She is the director of Mind-Body Cancer Program, Healthy Lifestyles, and Successful Aging at the Albert Einstein School of Medicine. For her complete biography, you can visit our website at www.ccalliance.org. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you this evening Dr. Webster. And Dr. Webster, the floor is yours.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Martha. And I want to thank everybody who's been sort of behind the scenes making this evening possible. And I'm very grateful for people who are listening and who will be asking questions later. I would like to explain a bit about mind-body medicine and give you the details of what I teach at the Benson Henry Institute. So the Mind-Body Cancer Program goes for 10 weeks, and it's a structured program. We meet 2 hours every week. There are usually around 12 people in the group at a time. Structured in that every week I teach something different. This is not a group where people sit around and complain. The techniques that I offer are all self-care skills, and they're all evidence-based. There's a lot of research behind what we do. And I've been running this program for about 27 years. So the first session is all about stress and stress physiology. And what I want my cancer patients to understand is what stress does to the immune system. And there's been a lot of research that's demonstrated that if you have a lot of stress in your life, your body doesn't make as many T cells, B cells, macrophage cells, and interferon, which are 4 major components of the immune system. And this is all research from a field called psychoneuroimmunology, big word, which simply means what goes on in the mind trickles down and actually speaks to the immune system. And there have also been studies that have shown that if you practice relaxation techniques, you can experience a boost in immune functioning. So that is part of my rationale for at my very first session with my patients is to teach a relaxation response technique, and our clinic is famous for this. And I teach a 15-minute relaxation technique. We're going to practice it tonight in our chat. And everyone receives my CD, and they're instructed to listen to the first track of it, which is 15 minutes, once a day. This is a requirement. It's the very first intervention that we offer. And people then begin to quiet their minds and quiet their bodies. There's been a lot of research that's shown that practicing relaxation improves people's sleep, it decreases blood pressure, sympathetic nervous system activity, and actually can change people's mood. Relaxation boosts beta endorphins in the brain, which are your own natural painkillers. So after a while, people begin to notice that a lot of their symptoms are improving. They're certainly sleeping better, and they're less anxious, less depressed, happier, more optimistic, etc. So that's the very first session, and we begin the process of quieting the bodies, quieting the minds. By the way, I think it's important for me to say that stress does not cause cancer. So many of my patients will come in and say to me, oh, I know, Ann, I caused this myself. I've been leading such a crazy, hectic lifestyle. But there's absolutely no evidence that shows that. So that's a big relief. At the second session, we introduce ourselves and we talk about our practice with the relaxation, what's working, what's not working, so I can help everybody master that. And then I teach minis. And minis are little short relaxation techniques that don't require a CD or an iPod or anything formal. It's just you and your breathing and counting. And I think it'd be fun if we all did one, a little mini together right now. So wherever you are, just sit up straight and unfold your arms and legs. And let's say we start with the number 5. And you'll breathe in. As you exhale, you'll think 5. You'll breathe in 4. We'll work our way down one number on each out-breath until we get to 0. So sitting up straight then, close your eyes. And whenever you're ready, take in a comfortable, easy breath. As you exhale, think 5. Breathing in 4. Breathe in 3. In 2. In 1. In 0. Open your eyes and come back. And you may notice that just in 5 breaths, you're feeling a little bit different. And some people would say to me, well, oh, Anne, how could this make any difference? But I teach these to my patients and tell them to use them during procedures, during chemotherapy, during a breast biopsy, during a blood draw, during radiation, whatever it is, your breath is always with you at every moment in time. And just close your eyes, start with the number 25, count down to 0. The next thing you know, the procedure is over. And I've done a lot of research teaching these simple techniques to patients so that they can use during procedures, and very calming. So those are minis. I spend at least 2 of the weeks on what I call change your mind, change your mood. And this is cognitive restructuring, which is a technique of cognitive behavioral therapy. And we pay attention to our negative thoughts when we're upset, and we write them down. We also write down how we feel when we have those negative thoughts, whether we're feeling fearful, anxious, worried, sad, angry, frustrated, whatever. Then we also write down how we feel physically when we're having those negative thoughts and emotions, because our thoughts trickle down and have an impact upon our physical being. And we catch these thoughts in the moment, and then a little bit later we're able to determine how a lot of our negative thoughts are distorted or illogical, out of proportion, sometimes not even true, and aren't helping. And we learn to challenge the negative thoughts and replace them with more rational ways of thinking. So we spend a lot of time on this. We also spend time, a lot of our negative automatic thoughts are true, and we're going to learn to accept those, but not focus on them 24 hours a day. Right? So we have 2 whole sessions where we shift up into the mind and we pay attention to what's going on up there over and over and over. One of the things I'm going to suggest that all of you do, and you may want to write this down right now, is to create an attitude of gratitude journal. I ask my patients to start a journal like this, and every day I want them to write something in it. And you focus on things that you're grateful for, it changes your mood. There's also been quite a bit of research that's looked at the health benefits of gratitude, most of it having been done by a fellow in California named Robert Emmons, E-M-M-O-N-S, and he's written a book called Thanks. But he did a wonderful study where he had people he randomized people. One part of the group kept gratitude journals, another part of the group kept journals of just sort of benign, ordinary things, and then a group that kept journals of negative, kind of nasty things. Had them write in them every day, and needless to say, the people who kept the gratitude journals were in way better shape at the end of the study. They were happier, they had set goals for the future. They took better care of their health physically and emotionally, lots of other things too. So I think that my patients having cancer, going through treatment, it's very easy to forget that you have a lot of things and a lot of people for whom you are grateful. So start writing in the journal every single day, and you'll see that it perks you up. I have another session on resiliency. And people who are resilient have certain characteristics, and I call these the 5 C's. One of the characteristics is commitment, having meaning and purpose in your life. Another one is control. Another one is challenge, taking on whatever life hands you as a way to grow or develop. Another one of the C's is community, having social support around you. And the last one is calmness. And we talk about those 5 characteristics, and based upon that, I ask my patients to think about, these are big questions. Listen to the questions. What is really meaningful in my life right now? What are my priorities? Why am I here? And that's not here in the room, it's here on the planet. What are the gifts I have to give? And we don't think about questions like this until something rather traumatic happens to us. And I don't have to tell all of you, you get a diagnosis of cancer, your world gets turned upside down. And things that used to look important no longer do, and other things take on a raging importance. So we really are looking at cancer as a wake-up. I ask my groups to focus on 8 or 9 compartments of their lives, and I name these off. One is career or education. Another one is relationships. Third is creative things. 4th is play. 5 is health. 6 is volunteer. 7 is spirituality, and you can really define that any way you want. And then the last one is self-transformation. And we close our eyes and we do a little breathing. I name off these categories, and I say to my group, just let things come into your mind without any editing, without any judgment. And then we eventually open our eyes and they write down things that they want. And I could be here from now until next Friday telling you about some of the changes that people have made as a result of this exercise. It's extremely powerful. One patient comes to mind. She left her job in advertising and went off to Romania to do AIDS education. I've had numerous people go back to school. I had a fellow in my last cancer group. He's gone back to school to study Chinese, and then he's going to travel. People have gotten out of relationships that haven't been healthy. Many of my patients take up something creative, and they do that because they never had time when they were working. I'll never forget, one fellow in my group took a bread baking class, and every week he came in with 5 loaves of bread. We finally had to tell him to stop. We were all going to get so fat. But people make major changes in their lives, and it's extremely powerful. I have a session where I do yoga, and yoga is a way of eliciting the relaxation response through gentle movement. And I tailor the yoga exercises to the physical conditions of people in the group. And we do standing yoga stretches, we do chair yoga, and we end up rolling around on mats on the floor. And yoga is unusual in that it can be very meditative. It massages all of your internal organs. It's very good for people who are going through chemotherapy. It massages your liver and gets a lot of the toxins out. And people feel wonderful after yoga. And I have a lot of yoga miracles that happen. There was a woman in one of my cancer groups who had ferocious headaches due to a brain tumor, and none of her medications were working. And we did yoga for about an hour and a half, and she sat up on the mat afterwards, and she said to me, "Anne, this is extraordinary. For the whole time we were doing yoga, I didn't have a headache." Well, Meditation and yoga, exercise releases those beta endorphins again, your own natural painkillers, and so any pain condition can improve as well. So, and people always sleep better after yoga also. Another thing I'm going to suggest that you do, and you might want to write this down right now, I call the news and goods. Every day, for the rest of your life, do something new and good for yourself. This doesn't have to cost money. It might be just treating yourself to a delicious piece of chocolate. It might be calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a long time. It might be taking an aromatherapy bath instead of a fast shower. It might be taking a walk out in nature. Notice how you feel after a new and good. There's another session on nutrition. We have a brilliant nutritionist, and I think nutrition is extremely important for people, and, well, for everybody today. But we talk about what your plate should look like, cancer-fighting nutrients, good fats, bad fats, omega-3 fatty acids, probiotics, any kind of supplements people might be taking. And then we also talk about mindful eating. So it isn't just what we eat, it's also how we eat. Throughout the whole program, there is a lot of journaling, and there have been numerous studies that have shown the health benefits of writing. So we do a lot of journal exercises. And the last session, each person writes a letter to him or herself about what was meaningful in the program, what they want to continue to practice, how they're going to motivate themselves now that they don't have the group to come to every week. And I mail them their letters a couple of weeks later. Wonderful friendships develop in this group. And I simply want to say that being in a group with other people who are going through the same thing is one of the most healing things that can happen. Being with other people who have common threads. So the program is extremely empowering and just helps people to manifest good health, maximize their health. And at the end of the program, almost everyone feels better. They're more optimistic. Certainly their cancers haven't gone away. Many of them are still going through the same treatment, but all the answers on their psychological questionnaires are very different post-program compared to the beginning of the program. So I'd like to take about 10 minutes now and do a relaxation exercise with all of you so that you understand what our primary intervention is. And as I mentioned, I do have a CD that people could probably order from me. We can get into that a little bit later. So I want you to sit up straight, unfold your arms and legs. I don't want you to lie down on a sofa or bed or anything. I don't want you to fall asleep. This is not a nap. So sitting up straight then, close your eyes. And just notice how your body feels right now. Notice the character of your mind. Just bringing your awareness inward. Then whenever you're ready, take in a comfortable, easy breath. Hold that breath a few seconds. And then let it go. Take in another comfortable, easy breath. Hold it a moment. And then let it all out. Take in one more easy breath. Hold it a moment. And then let it go. And then just allow your breathing to return to its regular pace. Just noticing that on every easy out-breath, you can become even more comfortable in your chair. Each out-breath is a letting go breath. Now, in order to recognize tension in the body and to let it go, it is easiest to focus on one part of the body at a time. Begin now to focus your attention on the muscles of your forehead. Move your eyebrows a little to get in touch with that part of your face. So the muscles of your forehead, the little space between your eyebrows, can become soft, smooth. Become aware of your eyelids, and they can now become comfortably heavy and still. And the little muscles around your eyes can become soft. Notice your cheeks, your jaw, your chin. Allowing that little hinge of your jaw to just let so that now all of the muscles of your face feel soft and smooth. Then this feeling of softness can move down into the muscles of your neck and over your shoulders, just enveloping. Take in an easy breath, and as you exhale, imagine the tension rolling off the tips of your shoulders. Just letting go of the cares of the day. Then become aware of your arms and hands as they rest gently in your lap. Upper arms, lower arms, hands, thumbs, fingers. As you relax, your arms may feel a little heavy, and your hands may feel warm and tingly. And you might even notice your heartbeat in the palms of your hands. Now, as thoughts have come into your mind, just notice the thoughts. Oh, well, and bring your focus back to your out-breath. And you watch your out-breath, and you'll find that your thoughts pass for a moment. Now bring your attention to your back, feeling your back gently against the chair. Allow the muscles of your back to relax, vertebra by vertebra by vertebra by vertebra by vertebra, all the way down to your tailbone. So that now the entire top half of your body can enjoy the benefits of this relaxation. And however you're feeling right now is just fine. Then this feeling of relaxation can pass like a wave down into the lower half of your body. First your hips, upper legs, knees, lower legs, ankles, feet, and toes. Feeling your feet gently against the floor. From the top of your head all the way down to your toes. All of your muscles, as well as your mind, and enjoy this time of relaxation. A time to simply be. And this is a time when you restore energy to your body. It is also a time when healing can take place in body, mind, spirit. Healing does not happen when we are racing about. And this feeling of relaxation can stay with you as long as you need. You can return to this peaceful state whenever you wish, simply by closing your eyes, taking those 3 easy breaths, holding each breath a few seconds, and then letting it go. I'm now going to count backwards from 3 to 1. And when I get to 1, slowly open your eyes and come back to the room. Feeling peaceful, feeling calm and alert, focused, ready for the evening ahead of you. 3, 2, 1. And just notice how your body feels right now. Notice your mind. Notice if you feel differently than you did about 10 minutes ago. And I'm ready to open up for questions.
At this time, we'll open the floor for questions. If you would like to ask a question, please press the star key followed by the 1 key on your touch-tone phone now. Questions will be taken in the order in which they are received. If at any time you would like to remove yourself from the questioning queue, press star 2. As a reminder, if you would like to ask a question, press star 2. Star 1. Our first question comes from Joe Frisbee from Arkansas.
Hi, I was just wondering if she could repeat her contact information again and any other information about the CD that might
Sure.
be available.
It's Ann Webster, PhD, Benson Henry Institute. You can shorten that to BHI, Benson Henry Institute, or Mind Body Medicine. 151 Merrimack, MERRIMAC, Merrimack Street in Boston, Mass. 02114. The CD costs $15. It has 2 relaxation exercises on it. And I also would suggest for people who have colon cancer, if you're going to be practicing the relaxation, you can lie on the floor with your head supported, and while you're listening to the CD, you can place both of your hands on your abdomen. Our hands have a lot of healing energy, and you'll begin to feel the warmth of your hands, and then it moves down into, your colon and down into all of those muscles and relax them, and increase circulation to this part of your body, which promotes healing. So I do a lot with hands. So those of you who are listening and want to practice something like this, use your hands to put on your abdomen to promote healing.
Our next question comes from Beatrice Cantor.
Yes, ma'am. Could you please repeat the website where we can get the information about this conference? again, please?
I don't know that, so that's up to you, Martha or Lindsay, someone.
Sure, about the Baltimore conference, is that what you said?
Well, no, I heard at the beginning something ccialliance.org.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Colon Cancer Alliance. Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it seems that I heard that this conference will be available in that.
Yes, in our archived Telechat. Yes, the website is www.ccalliance.org.
Okay.
Or you can call our helpline tomorrow at 1-877-422-2030, and we can walk you through, where you would find the archived Telechats. Either way.
Oh, either way.
Do that.
And that mybodymedicine.com is another website, or is this type of medicine, or?
No. You would have to get on the website of Mass General Hospital in Boston.
Okay.
And go to Benson Henry Institute for Mind Body Medicine.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Our next question comes from April Lewis from Ohio.
What do you think about those techniques where you kind of direct your T cells to go after cancer cells in the body?
So doing some imagery?
Yeah.
Well, I do this a lot with my patients, and you stop and think about it. Using your mind in a positive way is much better than, worrying, and worrying is a form of imagery also. But I've had numerous experiences where I will say to my patients, I actually have a CD that we can, it has healing imagery on it of boosting your immune cells. I actually have that CD. But I also work with patients. For example, one of my patients who had biliary cancer, his white blood cells were low, and his doctor told him, your white blood cell count will never be normal. And he and I worked together. He wanted to see his white blood cells as turquoise, sparkling stars, and he wanted to see his body making more of them. And so we would do this every 2 weeks when he would come in. He gave me the script for the imagery, and we'd start out with basic relaxation, and then I'd say, now whenever you're ready, you can begin to see your bone marrow and your thymus gland making these white, turquoise, sparkling stars, and they're traveling through your body to do their work, and they're making more. We went on and on. About a month later, he came into my office to tell me that his white blood cell count was normal. So I don't know how to explain these things, but I do them all the time.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Our next question comes from Kathy Pellegrino from Florida.
Yeah, Dr. Webster, I'm wondering, my colon cancer has spread to the lung area, so it's making breathing difficult. Are there any mind-body medicine techniques that you would suggest for improving breathing?
Yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried yoga?
Yeah, not in a while, but I have done it in the past.
Yoga is very good in that it opens up the chest, and then any of the techniques that are similar to what I just taught would work. And I say to people who have problems breathing, and you have to listen to this carefully, you take a blanket or a towel and you roll it into a tube. You put it down on the floor. At one end of the tube, you put a pillow. That's for your head. You lie down with your spine along the tube. So the tube of the pillow or the towel is along your spine, and your head is supported. And in that position, your chest is very much open, and it makes breathing easier. And it supports your lungs, so it's a really good posture to get into, to practice relaxation. And the whole thing is, when you're anxious, your breath becomes more rapid and shallow, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so the more you can practice relaxation and calm down, you'll find that the breath is easier. So, any kind of relaxation you can do, but if you get into that posture, that open posture, it will help your breath.
Can you describe it one more time?
Sure. You take a pillow or a blanket and you roll it into a tube shape. And you put it down on the floor, and at one end of the roll, you put a pillow, and that's for your head. And then you get down on the floor, and you lie with your spine on top of the rolled up towel or blanket. So it's under your spine supporting it, and your head is on the pillow. When you're in that position, you'll find that you put your arms out, your whole chest is open. And it's just a great posture to lie in, and it's very calming, it's very supportive, and you'll find that your breathing slows down.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Our next question comes from Farideh Nadria.
Hi, Starry. Hi, Dr. Webster.
Yes.
Can you please tell me, I get a lot of tension on my arms, especially when I'm asleep. They get warm and then feel a lot of tension. What can I do about that?
This is only in your arm?
Yes, just my arms, from wrist to my elbow.
And it's only one arm?
Both arms.
Both arms. Are you getting chemotherapy?
No.
So there's nothing in terms of a treatment that's caused the tension?
No, I don't. I had colon cancer 8 years ago.
Okay. Have you ever tried massage? Or Reiki?
Okay, I will try that. I haven't.
Massage is very good for muscle tension, and it's hard, when you just practice a relaxation technique to just focus on your arms. But I tell people go for massage. There are wonderful massage people around.
Okay.
There's Reiki, which is a very interesting body treatment. It moves energy. I suggest that people go for acupuncture, which helps. So a lot of the body work might help you, and certainly yoga would too. Anything that's stretching.
Okay.
So massage, you could massage your arm. I think heat works.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Lewis.
You're very welcome.
There are no further questions at this time.
I think I put everyone to sleep.
There are two people in the queue.
Okay.
Our next question.
If time for two last questions, that would be great.
Our next question comes from Kathy Pellegrino from Florida.
Yeah, doctor, I have a caretaker who's a family member and who's got a lot of responsibilities, and I noticed in your in the materials sent out about this, it mentioned that this was a session for caregivers as well as survivors. Is there anything other than what you've suggested for cancer patients that you would suggest for caregivers?
Well, I think one of the things I do is I run a separate program for caregivers because their issues are very, very different.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to them because the patient gets all the attention and everybody's gathering around the patient. The patient has doctors and nurses, everybody tending them. The caregiver has nobody generally to be taking care of them. And all of their emotions, they run from, being sad and anxious and depressed and worried to feeling angry and frustrated and all that. So I often find that the caregivers are suffering just as much as the patient, maybe even more so. So I offer them, I run a shorter program for the caregivers, and I teach many of the same techniques, but just the fact that they can come together and talk is very, very supportive. But I definitely... And by the way, in my cancer program, I allow guests for 2 of the sessions so people can bring their caregivers, and then I would say to them, share the CD with your spouse or whoever's taking care of you, share the nutrition information, share the yoga, all of that, so that people feel that, they're in on what I'm teaching. But the caregivers need this just as much, and so it's really important.
Our next question comes from Joe Frisbee from Arkansas.
Hi, I have an additional question here on probiotics you had mentioned during your talk about nutrition. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Do you know what they are? Do you know what they are?
I do believe I do.
They're live enzymes, and they're actually in yogurt, in Greek yogurt. And you can get them in a vitamin store and Whole Foods, things like that, and they're refrigerated because they're alive. And what they do is nourish your entire digestive tract. And when people go through chemotherapy, that, from your throat all the way down, it's disturbed, and the lining of your gut isn't functioning properly, so people aren't getting all of the nutrients they need. And so our nutritionists suggest that everybody take probiotics, and it just, one pill a day is it, and it heals the lining of your whole gastrointestinal tract. And if you eat Greek yogurt every day, you've got it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
Our next question comes from Shirley Sassman from California.
Is it possible to sign up for your course?
You would like to commute?
Yes. I mean, is there anything, courses like this?
Well, I'm in Boston. Of course you could sign up. You'd have to come east.
Right.
I don't know if, where are you in California?
I'm in Sacramento.
I don't know anybody there who runs programs like this. They're rare. I just happen to be in a very special clinic.
I see.
What you could do, contact the Society of Behavioral Medicine and ask them if they have any behavioral medicine providers in your area.
Okay.
People who are in behavioral medicine are often trained in relaxation techniques and cognitive therapy and things like that. And then you could probably pick up yoga and other places. But you want to come to Boston, you would be in my program. No problem.
Oh, okay. And you did send writing materials on what you've gone over, or not?
I'm sorry?
Have you sent written material over what you've covered?
I haven't.
You haven't?
You want to contact me about that?
Okay.
Here is my email address. If people want to contact me for things that I've spoken about, it's A. Webster.
A. Webster.
A. Webster, then number 3. A. Webster 3.
Okay.
At partners.org.
Partners.org.
Org, yes.
Okay. Well, thanks very much.
You're very welcome. Thank
you.
you.
Sleep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
As a reminder, press star 1 if you would like to ask a question.
And Lindsay, this is Martha. I think we have time for about one more question, if there is one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There are no further questions in the queue.
Okay. Well, I'd like to thank Dr. Webster so much for your wonderful presentation this evening. Very
informative. Can I end with a little inspirational reading?
Absolutely. Can I do a quick little bit of housekeeping, and then we'll let you...
Absolutely.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I'd also like to thank our operator, Lindsay, who's just been fantastic, and Conference America for helping us behind the scenes this evening.
Mm-hmm. Great.
A quick little reminder, next month's Telechat will be a joint partnership with FightColorectalCancer.org, and that will be the latest news and information from the ASCO annual meeting. And in addition, we do meet in our chat room daily, 12 to 1 o'clock Eastern Time, and then Wednesday evenings, 8 to 9, for support and friendship. And next week is the launch of our pilot live chat program specifically for Stage 4 patients and caregivers. And that will be on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of each month from 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'll hand it back to Dr. Webster, and I thank everybody for your participation this evening, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. So thank you, Dr. Webster.
I like to end all of my talks with some sort of inspirational reading, and this is one that I like a lot, and I think it really pertains to mind-body medicine. So it comes from a book called The Color of Light. Living inside me is a great knowing doctor, a healer. Am I giving this doctor a chance to work? When I am afraid, in panic, I rush about, looking for something to take, looking for someone to do something, always looking outside myself. When I act out of my fear, the doctor within can't help me because I am not present. The doctor is in, but the patient is out. When I calm down, when I relax and breathe, when I center myself and bring my attention back to me, my healer can go to work. Sometimes slowing down is all we need to do. Other times, we may need to ask the healer in us for advice. We may feel awkward at first. Like any relationship, it takes time to build trust. But after a while, we'll both be very comfortable with each other. Many times today, I will consult my internal doctor, the healer within. I will slow myself down and ask for his or her advice. Thank you, everybody. This has been delightful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes tonight's presentation. You may disconnect at this time.